Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll go ahead and let Kurt do his opening statement after tonight's 76-72 win over the LA Sparks. We will play again on Saturday. Those Sun are on a 7-game win streak and still have only one loss at home so far this season. Kurt, you go ahead and do your opening statement.
Physical game tonight. We talked and prepared as much as possible on just how good they are defensively, how physical they are, how athletic they are. But until you feel it and experience it, it's hard to simulate. It's hard to simulate just showing film. So I thought we were the tougher team down the stretch after they were really physical for the majority of the game against us. We finally settled in and found a little bit of rhythm offensively against their physicality. We got good stops in the second half. We held them to 33 points in the second half after a disappointing second quarter. So really responded out of halftime, stayed in a lot of plays defensively. That's where we hang our hat on. Kept them off the offensive glass, kept them out of transition for the most part. So playoff type physicality will bode well for us in the long run with the physicality, and a really nice win to keep us where we want to be in the playoff standings.
All right, thank you, Kurt. We'll go ahead and open up the questions. Alexis, you can go first.
Kurt, in the second half, you all really got Bree Jones going. What kind of opportunities arose for obviously JJ being the top level, but allow her to really be able to step up and play that, and for her to obviously you have a player like JJ, MVP candidate, players like Tawana that have stepped up before in those situations, but Bree being a younger player being able to go to her in that moment, what was that say about her?
Yeah, Bree Jones was huge, and I thought she had an opportunity to be big. They went away from Zowie pretty early in both halves. And so put both the Gumake's on the floor at the same time, which they're not easy to score on, but Breezy's physicality, it's not like the last few games that it's Sylvia Fowles twice, it's Liz Campage. Now it's players that she can compete with down low. Then they had a really good night with Coffee. And so when they went with Coffee at the 4, now they're down to one traditional post player. Now you can play the chess match. Can you go at them inside? And they won some of that chess match. Mia Coffee was tremendous tonight against us and gave us trouble. So it's just a chess match within the game that sometimes gets overlooked on how much was going on behind the scenes. But Breezy was huge for us tonight. We don't win without her big offensive night.
Kurt, could you talk a little bit about JJ and how she was able to really stay focused and locked in to get that game-winning shot and that rebound, she was in foul trouble tonight?
Yeah, it says a lot about character. She's frustrated. We had to have her out in a stretch run because of her 5th foul. But late in the game, when it's a 2-point game and they're going to get the last possession, if we don't score there, we run and play to JJ. Terrific underrated pass by Jazz. It was not an easy pass. It was not an easy catch by JJ. And then a finish. And again, that's when they had Mia Coffee in as an undersized 4. So who do you put the traditional post on, Breezy or JJ? So we went to JJ and we won that battle. Again, maturity with a frustrating night. And she had a double-double, right? She, on paper, looks amazing. But she'll tell you she was probably frustrated at times tonight. But a big basket that got us, a 2-possession lead there and allowed us to come away with the win.
Ed, James, anything?
This seems to be another game where you guys had to learn how to play without JJ at times. Entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah, I mean, Beatrice's minutes where, they're 9 minutes and, she doesn't score. She was huge. Those 9 minutes allowed us to stem the tide. She got rebounds. She was deflection. She was active. She had a great high-low pass to Bree Jones. So Beatrice was a huge factor in that game off the bench. And stats will never tell the full story. That's huge. You have to be able to win games when your players are in foul trouble. We didn't extend minutes to the bench tonight, but those minutes for Beatrice were huge.
What you're saying is in that time, they were able to make the adjustments.
You know, we didn't mind some of our defensive game plan. We just tweaked a little bit, talked a little bit about, you know, how they were attacking us, what they were doing, but the message was, all right, they were the more physical team. They, you know, they were the ones taking the first punch. They were just tougher. And that's the word. I mean, we didn't have to say much more than that at halftime. They were tougher that first 20 minutes. We had 20 minutes to try to rectify it.
And Paul?
Coach, good evening. Could you talk a little bit about what the message was to the team at halftime for you guys to make that third quarter really matter?
Yeah, again, to repeat, it was, you know, toughness was the conversation. We thought we got out toughed, we got out hustled. They disrupted us with their physicality. So ultimately, it wasn't a lot of strategic X's and O's. It was a challenge that this is a playoff type physicality. This is how these two teams play. They hang their hats on defense, and both teams are crazy physical. And you know, who was going to be the tougher team in the big moments in the second half. So a lot of toughness talk, not a lot of strategy, honestly, behind the scenes, a few tweaks here or there, but it was about challenging them.
And then offensively down the stretch, how does the team really adjust to finding the hot hand? It seems like you really go closer by committee with this group.
Yeah, again, tonight it was more about matchups than maybe a hot player. We liked JJ's matchup coming out of that last time out. We liked some of DB's matchups at times. We tried to get the matchup that we wanted more than necessarily going through a player that, you know, was going to take us home. It was the matchup, and then that player hopefully would be able to take us home, and we'll play off of that.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Rafi? Anyone else? Let's up real quick.
Kurt, what such a physical game, to start the two game series? Is there anything you can really do to prepare or just like adjust going into Saturday? Without, you don't want that physicality to get kind of out of control and it seems like we have to.
Yeah, I'm not, look, I was concerned. I felt the game was teetering on too physical. I thought the game was teetering on a potential serious confrontation between the two teams. But now they lived it. You know, you can talk about LA's physicality. You know, the coaches just crunch film and watch and watch and watch. And so we can tell them, but until they experience it, you really don't know. Now they know. That's how LA is played. That's how they defended all year. Now they have a better feel for what's coming, and hopefully we can do a better job handling it.
Being able to deal with home, something like that, your home game plan. Your home court game plan, I'm a trade, Bill Belichick, but we all know when he won, he only went home. And what do you do when you're at home that makes you be able to win so much?
You know, it's so hard to win road games in this league. And so you talk about protecting home court, you talk about how important home wins are. And, you know, we've been a really, really talented home team, and we're fortunate, we have a great crowd, they get loud when we need them. And, you know, and I'm gonna knock on whatever I can, because we've been really good at home in 19 and now this year. And hopefully we can keep it up.
Rafi, do you still have a question?
Yeah, I got one for you. A very physical win. Like, how do you plan to keep that same defensive mentality going to the next game, especially with Bree Jones having those 2 blocks in one possession during the third quarter?
Yeah, Rafi, that's, you know, the 2 best in a lot of analytics, defensive teams in the league. It's the 2 teams that hang their hat on defense in this league, you know. I know another, Minnesota's really talented too, we got people, but we keep teams in the 70s. All game leading up to this, I said first one to 60 wins. We were the first one to 60 and we won. I think the betting line was right on the money, right where they thought it would be. People were pretty brilliant, because we knew it was gonna be a slugfest against two talented defensive teams.
You know the betting line on this game?
It was all over everything today. Everyone's complaining on how low it was, and I'm like, they're pretty smart, I would think.
I didn't know you were such a shark.
I know how good they both defend.
It is.
All right, we're all set.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead and get started. Who'd like to go first here in the room? Alexa?
Hi, I don't know if you can answer this, but was that, I guess, one of the more difficult games you like played this year, and how do you feel like now that you have to play them again Saturday, you're better prepared just to know what to expect against them?
One of the local games.
Physical.
Breezy.
Yeah.
I mean, we were prepared going in, and everything, we couldn't go, but I think, now that we've actually played them, we can watch them, see what we need to improve on, and, we're gonna get better next game and do a little bit to execute, and, it's just gonna be a better game for us, I think, going into the next game.
How did their physicality compare to Las Vegas? Is it different though? Does it seem like this bothered you a little more than Las Vegas?
They're definitely more physical.
Really?
Yeah, it's definitely more physical, where, sometimes it's like a trade-off between like just playing through or just kind of getting the rest to understand that some of the things that they're doing isn't necessarily legal, so I think, the next time we play, we will be prepared and be more, focused on what we have to do to get the win versus worrying about what the rest of calling and not calling.
Sorry. Other questions?
Bree, can you just talk through kind of, what was really working for you in the third quarter and, how you were able to have that really good second match?
I think it was just being aggressive. I think the last few games I kind of like have been less aggressive than I was before the break. So I think today was about being aggressive and doing what I need to get over in the paint and then just attack them. And then my teammates did a good job finding me when I was open. So I think it's all that. And then the physicality, I kind of like that drive, but I like it. So I think for me that was just giving away was knowing that they're gonna hit me on the way up.
And,
Different.
For any of you, could you just walk through kind of like that last play, and, JJ was able to get that game winning bucket, where it really talked about, the nice pass from you guys, and JJ was great walked in, and you guys kind of walk us through that moment and really getting that win.
I mean, we just wanted to execute. We knew that they were gonna still do what they had done all game, try to be physical, try to, jam JJ up and make it difficult for her to get there, but with their size and length. When we throw it up there right, and she goes and she finishes strong, that's always a bucket.
And then I have one final one for JJ. Could you just talk a little bit about how you're able to like really kind of focus and stay locked in, especially, to get that game winning bucket and that rebound to kind of end it, even though you work out some of the game.
I had a lot of practice early in my career. I feel like early in my career I used to be a foul trouble every day. I mean, I'm kind of, it's a situation that I've been in before, so I just try to stay locked in because I know my number will be talking.
Here?
Just what is it about the whole court that's made it so, we're always most all time?
I think we just love to play here, one of our colleagues, it brings energy, that we're gonna come out so hard, we wanna protect home court, because this is the right thing, I think we come out here and, we know that we're gonna win at home.
Is there anything you can do on the road that models or do at home and you'll play?
Just have energy. I think that's what you get when you play at home, you get some energy from the crowd, from the fans, from not traveling, not being as tired, so having that energy when you go play on the road is important.
Either JJ or Bree, I guess. Beatrice had some really key plays, especially when you're, in the top of the around. So when you see from her, just being able to go in these moments and execute.
B has been doing that, and that's what we need. We need someone else to come in off the bench and just be really locked in and, supplement us from right off the court. So she's been amazing, and everything that she's been doing is just, it shows that she's locked in and she's ready to play.
And we know that if we want to win a championship, we're gonna win a championship, we need everybody that we're proud to be for that, for sure.
So you guys got out to a 20-10 lead. It looked like it was gonna be a pretty easy night. I know there's no really easy nights in the WNBA, but what do you guys think played into a factor of them being able to get back in the game? Like to eventually take a lead going into the halftime? What do you think? Because you guys expected the physicality, kind of, right? You were prepared for it. Was it kind of like just, maybe a mental break of like, all right, guys, we kind of have an easier night tonight. We can kind of take a little break and then turn it back in?
No, I just think they cracked up their physicality. They were making some plays on offense, really putting their head down and getting in the paint. And, I think we kind of see it out there when we don't feel like we're getting the calls that we want, we kind of let it get to us a little bit. And we lost our composure for a second, but we came out in the second half and it was a completely different team.
Yeah, I mean, Brianna, you in particular, just the third quarter, it seems like mid-third quarter, you just became a monster and just, cleaning up the glass, finishing around the rim, creating extra second chance opportunities. What were you seeing at that moment? Did you not think you could miss? Because you seemed like you didn't miss.
I think I was just trying to. I think I was trying to, clean up. I mean, that's what I do. I like offensive rebound, finish around the rim. So I think I was just trying to, like I said, be aggressive. I knew that once I got the paint, I could score. So I think it was just taking my time and finding my shot.
Rafi?
Hey, congratulations on the win. Brianna Jones, I just want to ask you, what was it like being able to pull out those big blocks in what was literally an intense game between you guys and the Los Angeles Sparks?
I think we do a lot defensively and just trying to be in the right spot. I think that allows me to get some blocks down low. So I think just being in the right spot and trying to be where I'm supposed to be on defense. I think that allows me to get blocks. Like I'm not a leaper, so I'm not out jumping anybody. So I have to be in the right spot.
And how are you looking to bring that same defensive effort when you face them again the next game?
I think it's just, we're gonna watch film and prepare and be able to execute defensively just like we did last game. I think we're gonna try to be better next game.
Jacqueline, I'll be the last question.
Jazz, you had 4 steals tonight. Could you talk about, defensively what was working for you and how you were really able to anticipate all those passes?
We just watched it in the scout. We knew that they're a great pocket pass team, so just anticipating and trying to be in the right place.
I have one more question.
All right, and
Brianna, how do you like the shirts?
Oh, I love the shirt.
Just make sure y'all need it right.
Will you wear your own shirt?
I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think we need to tag cover girl with posts on IG.
Right.